We're on. We're live. Some people are here. It's a non-promotion day. No promotion of this episode today. Too many important things going on in the world. No one needs to know about this little podcast. But we're hanging out here, so you might be joining in now. Might be joining a little bit later. You might be listening later when you were like, oh, crap, the weird dude did another episode. All right, episode 177. JJ Skywalker's here, Laserbolt. Cinder's here, saw Cinder last night at Flappers in Burbank. Addy, JMB, Crafted Jedi checking in, also here, but also on Twitch. You might be watching on Twitch or Facebook. If you are, let me know so I can keep broadcasting there. One of these days I'll get games going on there as well. We'll take some calls tonight. I will be here for about an hour. I am going to be appearing on the Wangers in 2.5 hours. Crap. Can I get a nap in? Maybe. I'll be on Wangers 2.5 hours. Then I'll be on that show live at 8 for the public. So there you go. Happy you're all here today. Producer Steve will join in a second. I'll just up top. We address this on Force Center tomorrow. We talked a little bit about it today. I put it here. First things first. I put it here in the chat on YouTube. So if you're on the other platforms, I'll just try to say it visually. But as always, man, do I love super chats? Are they amazing, and do they help me survive? Yes. And do I also love when you guys sometimes click the little scanner there, or there's a link in the description, and you use send me donations through PayPal? Yeah, it keeps the show going, keeps me going. I do love that. Today, though, if you got any extra cash that you want to send my way, don't send it to me. Send it to, there's a lot of places you could send it to. The one we're focusing on both here and at Force Center is an organization called Clue Justice. So cluejustice.org is the overall website, but you can go to cluejustice.org/bond. And they are an organization helping basically essentially post bond to anyone detained by ICE who might be, whisked off the streets, due process removed, and sent away. So obviously that's on my mind because of what's going on in LA. But I do want to start off by saying this. There's a lot going on, but also I want to be clear, there's also nothing going on. And that was something we talked about on Force Center today, and then we go in deeper tomorrow. There's always a chance that things explode. There's always a chance people order 4 Waymo cars and light them on fire when they get to the location, which I actually think was hilarious. And there's always a chance that, ICE launches a tear gas canister near or under a car and that catches fire. Yes. I personally have some anxiety about protests because of my past where I've seen things go sideways. It gets me a little, I don't know. But I might be heading out, especially if they come to Burbank. But all that to say, I've received text, I've received emails. There is a lot of concern of like, hey, are you okay out there? And we make jokes. Sometimes I make jokes when an earthquake happens. And are you okay? It's like we barely felt it, or it was in another city. I can't stress enough how just kind of normal the city's functioning right now. I can't stress enough how there is no invasion from the South, how there is absolutely no need for 2,000 National Guardsmen, Guards people to be here. There is no need to have 700 Marines from Camp Pendleton, not too far from here, on the ready. Whether or not they're actually here or not, I don't know. I couldn't get updated information. It's just, I can't explain how... Well, I'll say this, like, it sounds like I'm, being a-hole, but like how unaffected my day was on Saturday. Meaning I had to go somewhere and I was driving through an area past downtown LA, south of it all, and you just couldn't tell. And so to have the administration from their golf courses or the White House talk about an invasion, talk about an insurrection, talk about we've got to clamp this down, talk about arresting our governor, arresting our mayor, and hey, maybe other people might find that okay, but it's just none of it's needed. None of it's needed. There's a protest going on. There will continue to be a protest going on, and again, yes, some people within those do things that maybe might make you uncomfortable. Unless you're French. So that's I have nothing else to add on the larger picture of the conversation. But I got friends down there. I got friends who've been down there. They've been live on Instagram. There's people dancing to mariachi music. There's vendor carts. There's dogs. And there's probably some areas where the tension's a little higher. All that's there. There's also several different protest locations, all in a shorter area. Sometimes they meet up, sometimes they don't. And we'll see. So always a fluid situation, but I wanted to address that up top, and to see it happen in real time. To see true social posts from the president. Send in the troops. Send it. It is such a bad attempt, but it works, right? But it's a bad attempt to stoke the fires of fear in folks. So anyway, anyone who checks in on me and everything, it's always appreciated and everything. But this is beyond just a, hey, don't worry. It's a, no, there's literally like nothing going on. It's this little blip of an area for right now. Now, maybe a couple of days, who knows? I think anytime, heavy-handed responses usually seem to be the thing that explode situations further. So anyways, any questions on that or any conversation about that, happy to hear it. But that's also what's going on. I mean, it's we got Israel literally intercepted the aid vessel detaining activists. Greta Thunberg on it here. I know a lot of people have been following this story. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition, which organized the ship's voyage. That's stuff that's just as important too. So, anyways, that's that. We don't need to spend a lot of time simmering in it. I'll probably talk about it on the Wangers tonight. We got stuff coming in the Force Center episode tomorrow. We talked about it in the live show today. But there you go. So that's that. Yeah. So we got a lot of calls lined up. We'll get to the calls. But before we do that, I will welcome to the show Producer Steve. Producer Steve, how are you doing, my good friend?
Good evening, buddy. Good to hear that you're doing well, all things considered. I can tell you one thing, Ken. Tear gas sucks. I have experience with tear gas, and it sucks.
Do I ask?
It's nothing important like civil people, exercising their civil rights. So not in this time. I don't think today's the best day for the story, but we'll just put a pin in that one.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't have. I have experience with pepper spray, an accidental pepper spray, but I don't have tear gas. This is like that weird game of name the 5 states you've fucked in or what states you've yeah, okay.
It was right. Not pepper spray and it was not accidental. I can tell you like both of those things.
I never used in 17 years in many fights, often with legitimate gang members. Never used the pepper spray. Never went for that. And I always would tell people when I was training, I'm like, don't do that. You're probably going to hurt yourself more. And then one time I had video footage of it. A couple of our officers, they were getting into a confrontation. I don't even remember how it was justified or not. It just a confrontation was happening. And one of the dumber officers we had, I'll just say, who went on to be a police officer, he pulled out the pepper spray, and the suspect ducked, and he sprayed our other officers, and we disciplined him, but also we made fun of him for a very long time. That's you dumbass. You don't need to do that. Anyways, all right. You don't want to tell the truth? That's good, Steve.
Well, it's one of those light things. I can make it quick. if we want to go there. I just didn't know how much we wanted to waste the beginning of your program with.
The whole show's a waste, and I mean that in a good way. The whole show is a wonderful, warm waste of all of our times to distract from the horrors of the world, right? Isn't that why we're here?
That is why we're here. Okay. Cinder had a great guess in that it was for the Eagles Super Bowl celebration. I wish that's what it was. That's a great guess. That's a great guess. But no, it was just for a typical college party that turned into a riot type scenario. Looking almost 2 decades ago.
Okay.
It was a wild time, and tear gas was used to disperse a crowd of young people.
Okay. Look at this. Steve is here with us. Riotous past. We got some calls. We got some calls here in a bit. We got Addie, we got Brennan, we got Jared. I need to run an etiquette. I need to run an etiquette situation by you. Okay. I've been grouchy, obviously. If you watch the show, I've been just grouchy for a couple weeks. And I went to an event Saturday night, stopped by a place, and I sit down next to someone and introduce myself. And they go, well, we've met before. And I go, oh, I'm so sorry. And then they got this look on their face. And then they go, several times actually.
Uh-oh.
I go, okay, where? With the Comedy Store. Like, I've met 2,000 fucking people at the Comedy Store. Like, when? And they go into, and it was fine. I apologize. But then on the way out, they kind of did the thing again, where they're like, all right, my name's blank. And I go, okay, cool. And I make one of those bad dad jokes. Okay, yeah, I got it. She goes, don't forget. And I go, and then she goes, but you will.
Oh.
I've been angry about it for days. What, Steve? Am I wrong to be angry about this? And how do you deal with it? Like I forgot I met you. You have a picture of me.
It's back there. Yeah.
Did you get it framed?
No, it's not framed. It's just no. It's in a plastic little case thing that I got charged $15 for. Did
I charge you for the face?
No, you didn't. When I got my picture with Freddie Prinze Jr. and Sam Witwer, I had that picture with it. I was like, "Yo, can I just throw this?" And they're like $15. I was like, "All right,
okay." You got a picture with Witwer, you traitor. You traitor. I did. All I'm saying, and it put me in such a fucking foul mood.
Yeah, because
it's like I was. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I sat down and I did what normal. I didn't recognize or know this person, so I introduced myself. Okay. Not going to be the first or last time someone goes, oh, we've met before. Not going to be the first time I say it to someone. I say that to people all the time. But to have some anger return to me, some I'm sorry you're not important to my life. I'm sorry you made no impression on me, apparently several times. And we're not connected on social media. I would only know you here. Steve, I guess I'm just asking you what do I do with my anger?
You need a yes man. It's okay. No, I kid. No, your anger is not misdirected necessarily. I think first of all, do you remember their name now?
I'm intentionally forgetting it.
I was gonna say it would be so funny if you were just you know what? Honest to God, I don't remember their name.
Couldn't tell you. Won't tell you. I'm done being nice. I've been the nice guy for so long that you get trampled on that shit.
Okay.
And I'm done. But it was just but I was being nice because I'm also not going to go swinging a baseball bat in a chandelier shop or something. But it was just when I was like, oh, and then I got returned with hey, it was no, we're not at the Comedy Store. If you had said, oh, at that one time, at that one specific thing.
Right.
I've been going to the Comedy Store since 2003.
Right. I'm sorry. I saw you on the bus 3 times, and we sat next to each other and said hello. I'm supposed to know everything about you, kind of a thing. No, I
remember that cross country trip we took together. Oh, fuck. And I joke because I met you. I've met you twice at shows or after shows.
Right.
And once I saw the picture, I was like, oh yeah, I do know. I remember you. Yeah, I remember that moment. But it's until then.
But it was just another, but again, it's just another moment in a line of other moments that you treat as those types of moments, not, I need to remember that name and that face. It's more of that happened, that was nice, I'm going to move on with my life now, right? It's okay to have those moments and meet people in that way. Hey, it's great to meet you, what's your name, blah, 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 Bob's your uncle, whatever. tomorrow we're never going to see each other ever again. I'm never people. It's like people you talk to in an airport, right? Like you're never going to talk. You're never going to see those people ever again. Like so I met you in the Comedy Store, 3 different times over 10 years. Sorry, this is like saying you're okay. Okay, don't worry, you're fine.
Other people I've talked to about it have been like, I want to make sure I'm not adding too much angst. We talked normally. I think it was at the end too. Retroactively, we got over that, and then we were to talk about some other things. And then at the end, there was a little bit of like, but you will forget me. And it was like, well, now I am. Oh, trust me, now I am. Oh, absolutely. You have nothing to do with my life now. Oh, believe me. We're done here.
So, going back, do you remember any of the interactions now, or does this person look any different? Nothing. You still got nothing.
Nope. They provided some specifics to one specific event at the Comedy Store that I actually don't think I was a part of. So that made me more confused. That's neither here nor there.
Did this person think you were also Segura or something? Like, what is this another?
Oh, that could be it. That could be it. By the way, I went back to a coffee shop the other day, and they were like, "Oh my God, we thought you were Tom Segura." I'm like, he's lost weight and shaved his head. I'm not Tom Segura. But I actually don't doubt them. I'm sure the interaction happened.
Okay.
I doubted you a little bit until you pulled the picture out.
I have multiple pictures. Anyway, it's okay.
All right, thank you, Steve. You don't need to yes man me anymore.
Okay, I did my job. I'm still gainfully employed. Awesome. That's what we're here for, folks.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Blathering Live. We got some calls. You want to call in the show? Yeah, we'll get some calls here. We got some calls coming in. You want to call in the show? All you got to do is become a YouTube channel member or a Patreon supporter, patreon.com/Napzok. You ready for some calls, Steve?
Ready indeed. Let's do it.
Are you ready, indeed? You taking a big sip there?
I did. Yeah, sorry. That was a big swig.
I got some heartburn today. What did I eat today?
Heartburn question.
Yeah.
Now this is good conversation right here.
Yeah.
What is this good stuff? What is your heartburn go to? Are you a pre guy or a post guy? Do you treat it afterwards, or you go like Pepsid or like anything like that to try to get in front of it?
I treat it after, but if I was smarter, I'd treat it before. That's the issue. I also got good for a while. Also, when I went all vegan, it was almost a non-issue. And now that I'm back to just stuffing cheese and some meat into my mouth, it's causing. But it's the bread. I usually the bready things get me, and then I go, God damn it, why'd I do that? Now I gotta go get Pepsi.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Same. Everything gives me heartburn, so I just suffer. But
old man chat, everybody.
Hey.
Like all right. Let's do this. Look at that. All right. Laserbolt, who is truly an old man. I've always had an iron stomach. Well, God bless you. God bless you, Laserbolt. You know why? Because the meat he's eating is fresh off the bone from a slain animal right in the forest. That's what it is. Pepsid, not Pepsi. Pepsid, or some cheaper version of it there. All right, let's go here with our resident professor of smart things, Addie, calling in the show. Let's make sure I got all the settings right here so that no one's face shows up on screen if they aren't aware or in consent of that. Addie, how are you?
It's a Monday, Ken. It's a Monday. How are you?
It's a Monday. I am okay. I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I have a related story to your Saturday story, if it'll make you feel better. So on Saturday night, I went out with some friends of mine and we had our monthly book club meeting, and
that's cool.
We go out to dinner, we talk about the book for about 5 minutes, and then we go to various shops around town and just go shopping. It's a good time. It's a good time. And the group of friends I was with brought a new person that I had never met before. I had dinner with I was introduced to this person. I had dinner with this person. We were at a store with this person. Could not remember their name. Had to just be like, yeah, she told me to do that. Like, because I
sport.
could not think of her name in that moment. even though I've been spending, I spent the entire night with her. So,
What?
Sport is so condescending. What is your
Oh,
go-to? I forgot your name.
for me,
Yeah,
pal, maybe a pal, or a buddy. Yeah.
Pal
So,
is definitely.
buddy.
I forgot your name. Buddy is pretty close. I
Buddy
go buddy a
can be.
lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you tell me pal, I know you forgot my name.
Yeah. If I get mad at you, if I'm kicking you off a property, I'll say sport. But
Sport is so condescending.
it's
sport just makes me think of my grandpa because he calls my brother
Yep.
sport.
Yep. Mate. Andy says mate. Jamiro says sir. Yeah, sir. Good day, sir, ma'am. Yeah, I'm a sport. But Addy, I'm with you. There's sometimes too. Here's my thing. I'm also kind of bad at remembering names because even if I think I know your name, let's say I'd met you at a party, Addy, and then I meet again. In my head, I'm like, oh, that's Addy, but that can't be her name. I think I'm remembering the entire interaction wrong, and so
I'm terrible. I'm
Yeah,
terrible with names, Ken, and I am often the cause of people being terrible with names because I will never forget when I moved the last time I moved when I was in high school, like the last time I involuntarily moved, let's put it that way, when I was in high school. I can remember one of my very good friends told me a story once that she went home the day she met me and told her mother that there was a new girl in school and her name was Addie, and her mother asked if she'd heard her correctly.
Yeah. See,
because like it's not a common name.
Yeah. Exactly. There was the worst example of this. I was at an event a long time ago, about 3 or 4 years ago with Grace. It was Grace's event. It was for like a film project and everything. And at the party were the wife of someone I knew from the Schmodown. A lot of you who are Schmodown fans might know Ethan Irwin, and his wife Meredith was there. And I knew Meredith, and I enjoyed Meredith a lot. And she was talking to me, and someone else was there, but there was an out of context, right? So I wasn't expecting her to be there. And I don't know her a lot, but I don't know her well. But she came over and was like, hey, and she introduced me to a friend who was like, oh, I watched the Schmodown, and did it, which nice interaction. I am 3 drinks in at this point, and no snacks had been offered at this party. So I'm standing here like this, swaying, and we're chatting, and it's a good conversation. And I had been introduced to the friend, and I knew Meredith. And then about 10 minutes later, Grace walks up and goes, hi. And there was a pause, and I knew in my head, I feel it's like a Homer Simpson voice, this is where you introduce them to her. Like in my head, I'm like, you say their names to Grace. So and there's a pause, and all 3 of them are looking at me like, is he going to say, this is Meredith, and I don't even remember her name now, and this is my fiance Grace. And I do this. I look at Grace and I go, introduce yourself. And it did not go over well, and I was in the wrong 10. It was not a good night. So
I always tell my students, like, it'll take me a very long time to remember your name. And honestly, after you leave my classroom, I will not remember your name, but I will recognize you. Like, I will remember your face. I am very good at faces, but names are a struggle.
There you go.
And I won't, but I also won't necessarily remember why I know you. Like, I'll be like, I know you, and I don't know why. And I'll just sit and stare for like 5 minutes and be like, what social situation was I in that you were in the same social situation?
Yeah, and because of who I am, I just naturally assume no one will remember me anyway. So I do a lot of reintroductions. I do a lot of, or if I'm pretty sure, we were in Yucca Valley for a film festival in November, and one of the co-hosts of the Doe Boys podcast was there. Mike, I believe that's his name. I think I can't remember. Yeah, but he years ago had been on Screen Junkies, and I had booked him for shows on behalf of Nick Mundy. So I walked in, and I kind of did that, like, like you're saying, where do I know? And then I said to him, go, hi, you do not remember me, but, and I filled in the details. And he was like, oh, yeah, no, like, oh, and then we had a great interaction. It was a great night. So that's what I do. I just want that back. That's all I want, Addie. I want that back.
I will go ahead and put out there that I think the person was incredibly rude, and I don't think you were wrong.
Well, I'm still angry. I'm down. Last week I was up playing anger on things. This week I'm downplaying how actually it upset and ruined my weekend. Because it's one of those things where I got home and I was like, I should have let that fly. I should have said something. I don't like wordplay, but Matthew Stokes entertained me with this one. Addie and her sister subtractee, multiply, and divide. That was the worst joke I've ever heard, Matthew, and it's the best thing I've ever heard.
And Matthew, it's not even original. The number of times that was the insult on the playground. If I had a nickel, I'd be a very rich woman, actually.
How did they use it? They were like, "Where's your brothers and sisters?" Did they just roll it out like that?
No, it was more like a taunting chant, like Addie, subtract, like yeah.
Were you raised in a cult? Were you at a cult campus?
No.
Okay. I imagine, Steve, am I wrong that when she said that, it sounded like a bunch of kids in long dresses just saying that, chanting it?
Yes, I imagine kids in a circle with like pigtails and everything, and yeah, lawn dresses and socks and everything. Yeah,
ashes, they all fall down. It's the plague. Yeah, but anyway, well, yeah, okay. There you go. There you go. All right, Addie, anything specific on your mind tonight as we roll through this fun, silly show tonight?
I got a quick question for. Would you like to explain something for me or give me an opinion? What are you in the mood for tonight?
Both. Hit me. What do you got?
Okay, why does handedness matter when it comes to batting and pitching matchups?
Why does handedness? Oh, left and right. Yeah. Generally
Because
speaking, yes.
I've been watching a lot of Rays baseball while I still have MLB TV because I haven't decided if I'm renewing it yet. And they go on and on, like they've made so many decisions of like, oh, today it's a left-handed pitcher, so we're only putting right-handed batters in the lineup. Would that be a thing? Or would it be the other way around? Or like
lefties are ready, yeah.
He's a left-handed, we don't see him that often, and they don't hit very, like, I don't understand why that's a problem. Educate.
Generally speaking, and producer Steve, back me or tell me when I'm wrong. Generally speaking, there is believed to be, and for the most part, there is a advantage of a same armed pitcher to a same arm batter. So you see it, I think, most lefty pitcher to lefty batter. It's just the angle of it, the way it looks to the batter. It is just harder to hit. I think it's a little less of a problem right-handed. And this really comes up when you play baseball games on video game form. Like it really, I didn't fully understand it until I started playing MLB The Show, where I was like, oh, yeah, no, this really, as from lefty to lefty, it hurts. It's not always the case. Some hitters are different. But I think, Steve, am I in the ballpark there? Pun intended.
Oh man, I can do like actual producer stuff here. Like Ken, this is great. No, you're absolutely right. Traditionally, left-handed batters typically do better against right-handed pitchers and vice versa. So you're better off if you're a hitter if you're going against someone who's throws the same way you hit. And a lot of times it's the visibility of the ball is different. There's different spin angles, like the way the ball comes out, depending on what side of the plate you're standing on, makes a difference as to like how you see the ball. And then there's also the very, very slight difference of people who bat left-handed are like a step and a half already closer to first base.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go. Asked, answered. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Like I said, it's one of those things that like announcers always talk about and they assume that I know why they're talking about it. And I'm like, if you could just like explain for the stupid people in the audience why this is important, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Not stupid at all. I think that's one of the things in sports too. Some of that stuff should be easier to be asked and answered because that's how I fell in love with football. No one sat down and explained it to me, the rules, until one of my friends did in 6th grade, and it made my enjoyment of it even better. So happy to answer that. Now, what was the opinion?
Should we call it a no-hitter if he unintentionally walks batters?
Yeah. No, it's a no-hitter, and then a perfect game is if he doesn't walk anybody.
Right.
But they make such a big deal. Like there was a game a couple weeks ago where don't laugh at me, Steve. There was a game that was the spark for this question where they weren't going to rule the whatever had happened a hit unless somebody else got another hit because it would ruin the no-hitter. And like in between those two things, he walked a guy, and I'm like, obviously he's not throwing the he's not like just give the guy the hit. Just give the guy the hit.
I don't know the specific example. It sounds like it's a scorer's decision. Sometimes an error can be ruled a hit, and a hit can be ruled an error. That's the scorer's up to the score.
It was. I think they originally that he reached on an error, but but the announcers thought it should have been a hit, and they were like, they'll only go back and make it a hit if somebody else gets a hit, because otherwise the pitcher will have a no hitter.
Yeah, which I would agree with. It's a little bit of a courtesy or a grounds rule there. But we have perfect games, which is 27 up, 27 down. You have a walk or two. An error doesn't count as a hit, so it's a no-hitter. There are sloppy no-hitters. There's pitchers who have lost no-hitters. Despite not giving up a hit, they might still lose the game 4-0. There's a very sloppy one in 1986 from Joe Cowley of the White Sox. It was later taken away from him because it was only 8 innings, but Andy Harkens for the Yankees in 1990 actually lost the game 4-1, I think it was. But he technically did not give up a hit, so they can be sloppy ones. Steve, any thoughts on this? I bet you score games.
Man, no, I don't score games. I used to at home. I wouldn't go to games and score games. I always used to make fun of the people who I would see at games and sit there with their radio on and their big giant notebook and scoring the game.
Oh, so you made fun of me when I went in games at 12 years old. Okay.
No, okay. No, but that's a good explanation. Like, there's a perfect game and there's a no hitter, and it's no hitters. That's one of the fun things about no hitters is there's so many crazy no hitter trivia bar question things because of all the crazy scenarios that have happened around some of them that were still technically no hitters, like you said, about people who've lost games or had errors and stuff like that.
And what I love about your thought here, Addy, is you are highlighting one of the things that's kind of this fun little wrinkle in no-hitters. A no-hitter is pretty fun. It's pretty exciting. It's great for the crowd. It's great for the pitcher. But you'll hear often someone will say, so-and-so threw a no-hitter. They are forever locked in the annals of time, an immortal epic performance. There's been 250 no-hitters. Most of them, you'll never hear the names again. It's not as it's an accomplishment, but it's not like this great thing. I think perfect games are a little bit more like holy bleep.
Yeah, we had a guy throw a complete game the other day.
Well,
which they said was getting rarer.
Yeah.
No, that he went all 9 innings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make you feel how does that make you feel for Hattie to say someone threw a complete game and it was like oh man, this is a big
especially
it was the first time the Rays had done it in I think 2 years or 4 years. It'd been a while.
I want to be clear, Addie, I'm not making fun of you. I am not upset at you or even your team. Tampa Bay is the number one sticking point in my side over this complete game stuff because they created the bullpen day, which is a complete
they did, and we
absolutely
don't use
joke
it
to me.
anymore.
Yeah, I know, but because you shouldn't. There's reasons that there's less complete games that have to do with health, the bad health of the pitchers, the danger, the pitch counts. And I'm not saying I totally think we should go back to the old days, but it used to be that some pitchers would throw 20 to 25 complete games a season.
Oh, yeah.
Just one pitcher. And so and we're not making fun, but to hear that, you're not wrong. A complete game is so rare now. And I'm old school enough to get a little grouchy about that. But the fact that some starters don't even go 6 innings anymore is a little upsetting to me.
No, I was just impressed because like I said, having watched a lot of baseball this season, he managed to throw 9 innings and only pitch just over 100 pitches. It was a very efficient game.
Yeah, like a Greg Maddox fun. A couple comments to get to here. Ranger Donald says the perfect game is also the most fun, boring game you can watch. Yeah, but it's also exciting. And then my good buddy Joel's here says I threw a perfect game in wiffle ball. I don't recall that, Joel. I kind of think you're lying here. Now, Joel and I we built a wiffle ball stadium in his backyard. We used to play wiffle ball, Steve and Addie, and keep it very competitive, and we'd keep score. I bet Steve would have showed up and make fun of me for keeping score wiffle ball. But and Joel's Canadian. He's Canadian, so there's a good chance he's lying about that perfect game. Anyways, thank you, Addie.
We played wiffle ball at the grad school picnic every year. We took it very seriously.
Oh, as you should. I bet Steve would take it very seriously. Steve, you would have kept score at the old wiffle ball game there.
I take the wiffle ball game very seriously. See, I would only make fun of you if your wiffle ball scores book was like the size of like a fridge calendar. Those are the guys that like he has to like put it under his arm to carry it up, and you know who I'm talking about. There's like his thing, like if he opens it up, it takes like 2 seats. Just don't be that guy.
I will say this: I did stop being that kid after a while when I started going games more, and I'd go to games a lot with Joel. Back in the early 2000s, like I didn't bring a glove, I didn't bring any of that stuff. I didn't do that, but I know what you mean. And because the other thing too about that guy, and trust me, 98% of the time they're a guy. They're very crusty. They're very curmudgeonly.
Yes. Yeah. No. I mean, it's been a while, but I've only ever seen them with like the very small, Radio Shack headphones that they're like wired into the radio that's listening to the game. You know what I mean? Like I'll still put an AirPod in and like listen to the radio of the game because I just love listening to baseball radio. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Addie, do you keep, if you go to a game, do you keep score? I think you'd like to keep score.
I never have, but I think it would give me something to do. The last time I was at a game, it had been so long since I'd been to a live game that I was rooting for the visiting team because I wasn't in Tampa. It was hard for me to keep up with what was going on because
there's a lot going on. Yeah.
Well, but you don't have somebody constantly telling you what's going on. So like you have to pay more attention to totally. That was a strike. Oh, that was a ball. Because there's no one coming on over the intercom telling you like what the count is or anything like that. And also going and rooting for the visiting team. No one else is cheering when you are. So you don't always notice when something exciting happened, like you score because no one's cheering.
But your Professor Brain
would keep me entertained.
I think you should.
I would have to learn. I would have to learn how you score baseball. It seems a little complicated.
No, because the curmudgeon guy doing it ain't a genius. You're a genius. You'll figure it out. Steve and I will walk you through it.
Okay.
All right. All right, Addie. Thank you so much for the baseball. I needed that. Thank you.
Of course, Ken. I mean, I knew you wouldn't enjoy me coming on and talking about the Tonys, so I figured baseball would be more.
Not even sure what that is. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Addie.
Yes, you do.
Nerds.
All right. Yeah. They handed out some theater awards last night, Steve.
Yeah, it was like the theater kids' like biggest night of the year. So
biggest
night
for
them. I saw Hamilton got back together. It was like that's like the Beatles like doing like a reunion. Yeah, it's a big deal for them.
Oh, so good.
Happy for the theater. I'm happy for the theater. Hey, you know what? I'm happy for the theater. The theater kids are nice. The theater kids are the kids that like, dude. The theater kids got picked on a lot, at least when I was in school. So and they're thriving these days. So good for them. I'm happy for them.
Yeah. No, I was theater kid for a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They got picked on.
Happy for the theater kids.
Dylan Barry asked a great question. What about the Blathering Awards? We'll have to do an end of the year Blathering Award show. Steve, mark it down.
All right. Yeah, let me add that to the
list.
To
work. Don't you even dare. All right. All right. Here's the deal, folks. I got a couple calls lined up. I got Brendan. I got Jared. I got Aiden. I really, I do have to get to the wangers today. I do have to get to the wangers today. Okay. And so we're not doing no dissertations from you, Jared, the TIE pilot, if that is your real name. But the Blaze, yes, Roger's right. The Blaze. All right. Brendan's on the show. Mr. Brendan, Mr. Lamar, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. And unlike that one person, we've met twice, and I still remember you.
And I remember you, so we wouldn't have a nasty.
Yeah, we sat and watched the fat squirrels at the LA Zoo.
We did. I love those squirrels. That was an early run with the squirrels. Addie's saying sorry to talk to him. No, Addie, you didn't talk long. No, we kept you here. We kept you.
Hey, I could listen to Addie all day. She's awesome.
She's great. Addie's great. But Brennan, what is on your mind tonight? What's your question?
Well, here's one for you. I'm going to bring up your good pal Ned Stark.
Ned Stark. I do love him.
We're going a little Game of Thrones here, and one of the lessons, I suppose, that Ned Stark created that I tried to incorporate is everything you say before "but" is horse,
Yeah. Manure. Yeah, okay.
Horse manure, yes.
I like it.
So I try to do that when I talk. Is instead of saying such and such, but such and such, and
Oh,
like
okay.
a lot of people, would say things like, "I love my family, but," and as soon as that "but" is there,
Okay. Okay.
it might negate everything that came before it.
So is this a workaround or is it a different perspective on expressing some earned frustration?
Well, I think that it's important to say, like, "I love my family," and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like I hear a
And
lot of people say, "I love my family, but they annoy me."
right. That's fair.
I'm like, well, it's
But
probably better to say "and they annoy me."
yeah, no, I actually like this, Brett. I actually think you're stumbling on something good here. It's just a slight perspective. It's an acknowledgement of the truth. It's acknowledgement of the 360-degree nature of all of our relationships. The but can be a very negative approach to it. That's
Yes,
what I'm
and
hearing
just to
from
be
you.
clear, I love my family.
I know you do. I love
And
my
they
family
don't
too.
annoy me.
Oh, okay. No, I like that. I like that. So
But so I
a
try
good
to,
lesson from
that's the
Netzar.
perspective I try to take.
I think it's a good idea. Sean McCabe likes it, and if you can get anyone from New York to like anything, that's a good thing.
Yeah, like I have my, gripes with any Star Wars show.
Sure. But
But I'm not in the business of saying, "I like this show, but,"
yeah,
I'm more in the business of,
I like this show, and it also challenged me in this
yeah,
particular way.
yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly the
Yeah. Okay.
perspective I try.
All right. All right. Yeah, so, Michael McCarcel has it down here. I've definitely got family that I don't love, and they know me. So there you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
it's funny, like with Tony Gilroy, it's like Andor is great,
Love it. Love it.
and Tony Gilroy drives me crazy sometimes.
There you go. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I love it. I love it, Brett. I love pulling lessons from pop culture. Ned Stark's a good source of a lot of moral lessons in life.
Yeah, I mean, it's important to keep your head.
I don't think that counts as wordplay, but it's almost there, Brennan, and I love it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep,
All right.
Yep, that's what I got.
Brennan, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for calling in and sharing a good lesson with us.
All right. See ya.
I love that, Steve. So, see, Steve, you should take that to heart. I love producing the Blathering, and it is also a low-paying job.
When you say low paying,
Yeah.
so low usually infers like more than zero is all.
Zero's a low. That's a low number.
That's
the
also
lowest you can
true.
go.
This is like arguing arguing the principle of zero. I don't want to get into that. Neither of us are smart enough to do that on the internet, Ken.
Your pay was me letting you do a 4-hour stream Saturday night.
Yeah, no, my pay is that my microphone is still on. Are you kidding me? I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. We had a lot of fun on Saturday.
Which reminds me, you all should check out Blathering Backstage, our separate YouTube channel that has clips, and as Steve and I are talking about, kind of clubhouse backstage live streams that have no time limits, which is a good thing, but also it's a good spot to get in the batter's box. And if you're not comfortable with calling in, but you want to on this made show, because I'm just an intimidating asshole, Steve will walk you through it, or workout segments. We try. And it's not just an experimental laboratory. It's a continuation of the community that we got going on here, run by Steve. So check it out there.
Thank you so much, Ken. Yeah, I'm going to play games on that too eventually, coming up here soon. I'm just getting some stuff set up, and I'm going to do some cool little techie things on there too with guests and for people who call in and all that stuff. Plus, we do the wheel. We do all fun source of fun stuff.
In the sky. Yeah, Ranger Donald says you don't have to pay taxes on zero.
That's a great
Steve,
point.
I'm helping you out there.
Thank you, Ken.
There we go.
Thank you.
All right. Joel says I'm not intimidating. He's known me since I was 15, and that's why. He knows too much about me. When you're roommates, you just know there's no intimidation when you're roommates. Booyah! All right. That's an inside joke for one. Let's get to our man from the greater Boston area. Though I don't know what part of Boston. I don't even want to know anymore. I barely remember his name. Jared the TIE Pilot's here.
Oh, you'll never forget.
I'll never forget. Look at that. That sounds like a threat, Steve.
It is. It is.
Sounds like this
I'm gonna
man's
be in
threatening
there.
me.
I will live in the back of the mind, rent free, saying DS9, DS9.
I ain't watching no Star Trek, man. I just want you. You can keep tossing money at me. We entertained the thought, but I've got to watch that Bomb in the Cold War doc a third time. I've got to.
Never give up, never surrender.
There you go, like a true Bostonian. What's on your mind tonight?
So, question for you and Mr. Steve here.
Yeah.
I want you to pick a sporting event that was before you were born that you wish you could have seen.
Sporting event before I was born. Okay.
So mine would have been like the Miracle game in 1980. I was born in 86.
Oh, okay.
So the U.S. versus Russia game. Yeah.
Where a bunch of now MAGA supporters beat the Russian hockey team. Yeah.
Try not to mention that.
Yeah. It's I hate that. I hate that. Yeah. Will McLean's with you on Miracle on Ice. So you're talking about being there too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Before I was born. See, I'd like to say, what is it? The 36 Olympic Games in Berlin and watch Jesse Owens win and show up Hitler. But then I'm thinking, does that mean I'm there? Does that mean I'm German? How do I get there? I don't know if I want to be there. I don't know if that would be a good thing. But I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing, sporting event, a specific one. I don't know, maybe being in the polo grounds for Maze's catch in the World Series. I've always been fascinated with the lore around that. I don't know. That seems small, though. Miracle on Ice is big, but I was alive for that one, so I can't answer that. Steve, you're slightly younger than me. Where do you go?
I would have gone, well, my first thoughts would have been the 75 or 76 World Series for the Big Red Machine.
Vermont Mike says 75 World Series. But that would mean I'd have to be in Boston to watch Fisk hit that home run. Kidding.
I think I got those years right. But those right. Yeah, the Red Sox were 75. Yeah, and then 76 was the Yankees. Yeah. Okay. So that was my first thought. I was trying to go to like something that was like more neutral, like what like you were thinking of, like with like the Olympics. And yeah, if you go to the Olympics in the 30s, and if you go now, you can't, because now there is pressure, because if you don't kill Hitler, you're an asshole. Like
you go back in time.
Yeah,
you went back in time to Nazi Germany. What did you do? I just watched a race.
Yeah, you can't.
Did you kill Hitler?
No, that's bad. Yeah, so there's too much pressure with going too far back in time. You know what I mean?
Phil's here. Check out Phil's channel. Hey, everybody. Check out Phil's wonderful work over there. This makes me old. We always pick on Brady, but personally, says Brady, I would love to have seen Jordan Magic play. Oh. Look, man.
Oh, God.
Jordan,
I love you, Brady.
Magic was on my TV like 3 nights a week. I never watched one quarter. It's just, like, what do you want from me? Brian Jackson, Mr. McClunky says the very first Olympics. That actually crossed my mind, Brian. I just would like to see how small scale it probably really was, you know, and yell down to these naked Greeks down there. Do you know what you've started?
Okay, that's what I was with. Like the new Olympics, like in the last 100 years, or like the first Olympics. So
I take it as the first Olympics. Bunch of naked Greek dudes wrestling. I think that's what Mr. McClunky and I want to go see.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about this though. If you're going to put yourself either in like a questionable time of history or a fantasy type of world, make sure you position yourself somewhere in the food service so that you stay alive and you work in a job that you don't have to worry about the demand. You can kind of keep your head down. Like that's always the move. So yeah, if I had to go back in time like that, to go back in Greece, food service is the way to go. We talked about that. Like if we're in Game of Thrones and Star Wars, you got to get somewhere at a bar or a tavern. Like keep your head low. You'll make it out.
Chariot races, Ben-Hur style. Yeah. And Mr. McClunky says, the first one's there.
I'm surprised, Ken, you haven't mentioned the Babe Ruth called shot game.
Okay, yes, but So is this time travel? Because I would like to sneak in a camera to prove that he did or did not do it.
I mean, I didn't think that deep on it, but sure, whatever you want.
I don't think he did it. I don't think he did it. I think he threatened the pitcher.
I didn't know there was debate on that. I've always just heard he did it.
Jared, you've just stumbled into one of my favorite things. Yes, he was being taunted mercilessly by the Cubs and the fans at Wrigley, and he is said to have mostly pointed at the pitcher, basically saying, "I'm gonna get you." But he did homer. That's real. But there's no like picture. There's only artwork, and Babe told the story, and he just had a penchant for being, wild with his stories.
Interesting.
Yep.
I feel like I'm just gonna fall down a YouTube rabbit hole with that.
It's a great one to go down. But great question. I love it. Miracle on Ice game is a good choice though. If you weren't around for it. I don't remember it. I was too young. I was 4. I remember the '84 Olympics solidly. So I'd go there. Good question, buddy.
Oh, all right. Well, we'll see you Thursday with some Game of Thrones then. And
Let's
Steve, I love how you do a 4-hour stream when I'm not there, but give me shit about doing a 3-hour stream. All right, I see how it is.
I don't know what's going on.
I have no defense for that. You're absolutely right. Things got out of control Saturday. I don't understand. I blame Cal. He's not even here to defend himself, so I can't. I don't blame Cal. If he was here, I'd blame him, but I can't. He's not here, so I don't see him at least. So
you should. All right, thanks, Jared.
Anyway,
no worries.
Jared.
All right, Jared calling in. We've got a few minutes left in the show. If you want to call in, become a YouTube channel member, call on in here. Or become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/Napzok. I want to apologize. I still have to get up the set here, Hot Bar Banks Night 3, and the comedy press conference. I have it all ready to go. I exported it, Steve, both videos, and then forgot I did, and have not put them up on Patreon.
Ruh-roh. You'll get to it.
And I had a good set last night. I had a really good set. Cinder was there. He's a witness at a good set. I might pay for the tape and see if I can get it up. But there you go. All right. What's on your mind, Steve? We got a call here. What do you got? Anything? Any place you want to go?
No, I don't. I was seeing if I had any notes. I mean, I thought the Blather Awards, there might be some meat on that bone, just as far as like getting some good award category ideas there, as far as like best calls or best.
I like that.
Best character. There's some stuff there. There might be something to talk out there. So
I like it.
Let's see what happens.
I dropped the link again, cluejustice.org/bond. Did I type band? I did type band. I'll do it again. Bond. Clue. And my eyesight is going faster than it used to be, so that's a problem too. Cluejustice.org is a place. If you guys, I appreciate it. I got a super chat or two I got to get to here tonight. But if you want to support an organization that is trying to provide bond money for immigrants currently detained and help them get some due process there and all that, good stuff that might be important. Always has, always will be. But check out that organization there. We got, this is our super chat. It's Matthew Stokes apologizing to Addie. Primary school taunts. No, you're okay. You're okay. Cinder says he confirms it. Cinder, where did he go? Cinder said it was excellent. He said my set was excellent. And then he and his friend went to In-N-Out afterwards because he needed to try it. So
to try it, just never had it. I know we've heard your thoughts. We've heard your thoughts today on In-N-Out, but
don't. You're dismissing my thoughts. I know. I hear the tone in your voice. You don't want to hear it from me.
Well, fair. I'm pro In-N-Out, so
I'll let you have that. Okay, I'll let you have that. Look at the new me. Look at the new me.
Ken. The new you. We'll see how long that lasts, but I appreciate that.
All right, let's go to Aiden. Aiden's on the call. Cinder says hot confirmed better than Five Guys. Look, I Five Guys wouldn't be my option for if I'm not going to In-N-Out. Five Guys is a $18 mess. It's a lot.
Well, Five Guys is my way of sticking it to the man, Ken, because I love Five Guys, but it's too damn expensive. So I've totally boycotted Five Guys for almost a year now because it's too damn much. It's too much. Stop buying shit that is way too expensive. A hamburger and French fries should not be $16 with a drink. Go to hell. That's ridiculous.
And I think it's worse out here right now. Yeah, no, it's.
I'm sure, but get the fuck out. Yeah, especially for a whatever.
As
Too
Laserbolt
much.
says, you are sticking it to 5 guys at once.
Hell yeah.
Giggity!
Hey.
We have got, we're going to get Aiden here real quick here. But Tully does have a question that we should ponder. What LA area places have the best fries? Every once in a while that comes up, and I'm happy to try and answer that. But let's get Aiden on the phone here right now, our resident tax guy. Sorry, I just went to a different tab and I lost you all. All right.
I thought you had that stroke for a second. I was a little worried.
I thought I had the stroke too. No, I suddenly was not on StreamYard, and I was like, did I even bring Aiden in? He is. Aiden, how you doing?
Doing all right, boss. Yourself?
I've had better lives, but I've had worse life, so I'm happy to be here with you.
Fair enough. Yeah, so I want to talk about 2 things tonight that are near and dear to my heart. One of which I know it might be near and dear to yours. The other, I don't know. But one is, what kind of whiskey you drinking these days?
I not a ton. I'll tell you what, because by the time I started to get to my early 40s, the whiskey that I loved, I was a big Irish whiskey guy, from the regular old Jameson on up, and some Tullamore and all that kind of stuff. Loved that. Whiskey does not do me right anymore, and it's not just a sick like, ooh, you're barfy. Like, my next day is lost if I have 2 whiskeys. So I'm back to being all about rum.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm kind of it's funny. A rum actually might be my favorite, like, after whiskey. I do I was a Captain Morgan guy for a while, and then I switched over to Kraken, and
Kraken's good.
Kraken's very good.
Like a spicy.
No, I am a true Boston Irish dirtbag, so yeah, Jameson is kind of the way I go.
Jameson's good. Jameson and ginger. If I break it up with ginger ale, I can have probably 2 whiskeys and be okay. But there's a chance it's a problem. But I do miss it too. I enjoyed a good whiskey a lot back in the day, but also at the same time, maybe it's better that I don't. That I just stick to rum.
Yeah,
So,
no, I feel you on that.
yeah.
The other thing I
Yep.
wanted to talk about was collectibles, specifically Lego. I have a large Lego collection myself, and I have spent a little bit of money on just, minifigures that they don't sell anymore, and I was just like, so I wanted to ask you, what is the acceptable amount of money to spend on a Star Wars collectible or minifigure, do you think?
Well, Aiden, if
Or
you're looking
Lego.
to buy the Death Star Lego set, I've got one on sale here, price to go about $1,000. You let me know. What is the acceptable? I don't know. It depends on what you have, right? Like, I've spent too much money on collectibles over the years, and I don't anymore. I've used them as a distraction. Hell, my friend Joel in chat here, we used to sneak out of our screenwriting class to go to Toys R Us to buy action figures. Probably not the best use of our time and education, but as far as acceptable, if it's over 300, I think you got to ask yourself some important questions and look at your bank book and make sure other people aren't directly affected. But I'm not scared by 500.
Your bank book.
Yeah. My rule is, like, for minifigures, in my opinion, no minifigure is worth more than $50. I did break that rule once with a Bail Organa minifigure because they've only made like one, but gotta have the whole Rebel Alliance.
Should I? You're making me think, because I have a lot of minifigs in storage right now. I wonder, Steve, if I have any valuable ones, and I can add money to my bank book.
Take them off your hands for a lot more than you think they're worth.
Okay. All right. My bank book needs the help. I think I'll do that there. No, I do. Now, Aiden, do they just have to be older ones? Because I think I have a lot in the last 5 years, but do they take them out of print, so to speak, like that? Or is it like 10 years and older that'd be more valuable?
I mean, it sort of depends on condition and everything like that, but definitely, like, anything that's like 10 years and older, like, they have like a lot of those minifigures they've discontinued, like, even like some of those original, like, Stormtrooper.
Well, I think. Okay, yeah, I think you cut out a little bit on mine. Yeah, okay, I'll have to check. I have them all in a little bag. I have a bag of them. There's a brick building store near me that I think buys. So I might be sitting on a gold mine.
It's entirely possible. You never know. I mean, to be honest, I mean every minifigure is worth something. Like even if it's like $10, $15, but some are worth it. Some are worth a crazy amount, but
Okay. Something to look at. Aiden, I appreciate it. You're making me thirsty for whiskey, but you have to have one for me.
Will do, sir.
All right. Aiden, call it in. I appreciate that there. Steve, when's the last time you balanced your checkbook? Oh, Steve, you muted yourself. Steve muted yours. Oh,
I muted myself for my. I had my props. I'm looking at my bank book right now. Actually, Ken.
You know what? You're an asshole. And I love it. When's the last time you balanced your checkbook?
My checkbook. I have a checkbook in my desk next to me. I use it for like 2 different things throughout the year. I think there's like 2 different people I have to pay, like with physical checks.
Yes.
And my checks also have my address from I think 3 addresses ago on it. But
think
it's still
mine
the
have-
same account, so it works.
Yeah, I think I've been here long enough. I think I do have current address, but it's down to one thing a year, and that taxes. And I think that was 2 things a year, but now I think it's just down to 1 because I do the other taxes online. But my California business tax, I think, is a check still. Wow. All right. Goodbye, checks. Pretty soon, Brady's going to be like, what are checks?
I wonder if Brady's ever filled out a check. Do you think
Have
Brady's
you
ever filled out a check? Like, if you had to guess right now, yes or no, do you think Brady's ever filled out a check? I bet Eli's definitely never filled out a check. Eli
has no idea.
Eli doesn't even know what we're talking about right now.
No, absolutely. Brady says yes, I have. I want proof. Can we do a test where we have Eli and Brady on stream at the same time and we time them on how long to fill out a check?
Yes, or fill out a check, or if they need to we need to get them to fill out some kind of a form, or like date an envelope, fill out an envelope, where do you put the stamp and the address and all that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that might be the thing too.
Yeah.
Addie's right. They taught me in 6th grade, elementary school for me. Yeah, we had a week where we learned to do that, and my dad was. Big, I think he still balances his checkbook. He was big on the old checkbook balance, and I never understood it. I was like, what's happening? I'll just see, as Addie says, I'll just see what's in the account. And then eventually you go online and that's all you need. But
we had the same class that was balancing the checkbook, but it was also keyboarding and learning how to type class. And I remember we got paid every week, and that payment was how we had to write checks to go to the bathroom. We had to write checks to sharpen our pencil and do all sorts of stuff, right?
That's nice.
And so, but the amount we got paid every week ended up, the math on it would mean if you didn't spend any money for a few weeks, your bank account would have $666 in it.
Yeah.
Your bank book would have $666 in it, and our teacher would not allow that. So she always gave you an extra $1 whenever you hit that amount. So we always would wait to not spend any money until she gave us that one extra. Oh yeah, we couldn't have 666
because
in your
of
bank
God.
account, Ken.
Because of God,
of course.
Okay.
Yeah, public schools, baby.
Yeah, I think that's actually a concept of a plan song. You can't have 666 is actually the song he's working on.
Not in your bank book, Ken.
Dylan Barry says last time I used to check was paying for rent in Glendale in 2019. Yeah, that's about right. Narcolepsy says my 5th grade teacher had us using bank books. Absolutely. Well, that's it. I think that's it. A quick show tonight. I'm going to be on the Wangers, so head on over to the Wangers. If you're a Patreon supporter of them, I'll be on the pre-show about 7:30, and then we'll go live at 8. We'll talk about what's going on in LA. We'll talk about Pokemon, because they love talking about Pokemon and a lot of things over there. Jared says, I'm 39. I've never written a check. That's because in Boston, they don't use money. They use beer. That's the currency in action over there. That weird little town over there. That's what I think's going on there.
I imagine Jared's just been trading random things for his entire life, leading up to what he has now. He's just been bartering goods his whole life.
Jared's been using fur and pelts to get what he wants out there in Boston. Yeah,
and guitars.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, to get guitars. Thanks for letting me have a quicker show tonight, folks, so I can get on to some fun over there with the Wangers and do it all. We'll be back Thursday for the main show. We'll have 60 Seconds of Science if Addie wants to. We'll have Game of Thrones talk with Jared. I think also this Friday we'll be live on Casually Talk about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my time, and more. So we will see you then. Thank you all. Bye-bye.